Hi, Gert Louw from Cape Town and welcome to another video. This is going to be the third video in the 100 video series dealing specifically on mission critical transformation concepts for the older guy. Okay, so what is this video going to be about? I'm going to discuss how you can use that muscle soreness after intense training to grow. Now everybody thinks of course my muscle is going to grow because the fact that it's sore means it was stimulated, and the brain will now tell the muscle, you know, you can't deal with your exercise load, so you need to increase your size. Now that's all true, but it can only increase its size if you allow it to go through a growth phase. Let me explain. When that muscle is sore, it is in a recovery phase. Now that recovery phase, depending on how hard you trained, can last 1 day or it can last 3 to 4 days. Only after that recovery phase has actually completed, only then does your muscle actually go into growth phase. Now what a lot of guys is doing, young guys and a lot of older guys, is they hit that muscle again before it has even finished with its recovery cycle. Now what that means is that that muscle didn't have time to recover. So there is not even any talk of growth. It is still busy recovering. If you don't allow it a period, a couple of days to go into a growth environment after it has recovered, then you're going to see if you cut that growth opportunity out, there is not going to be any growth. Because as soon as you hit the muscle again, while it's still in recovery, it's just again going to go into recovery, and that's going to last a couple of days. So if you don't extend this window that it's sufficient for the recovery period and the growth period, then you're going to find your muscle is not going to grow. And that is a big mistake a lot of youngsters make because they're so eager to train. They just train like crazy 6-7 days a week and hit the muscles continuously. And they can't understand why they don't grow, and eventually they go into steroids, and steroids bypass this rule that I just discussed. The older guy, there's a lot of preaching on the internet that the older guy should train his body, whole body, 3 to 4 times a week. And that's exactly the opposite against this logic. The muscle cannot grow optimally if it's not pushed to the point of failure, which means that the brain will tell it you can't cope with the load you had, so you need to increase your size. Only then will the muscle enter into a growth phase. But when you train the whole body 3 to 4 times a week, so you don't just train specific muscle groups on specific days, you train the whole body every day, then this window of muscle recovery and growth period is simply too small. You're really going to struggle to grow on a training system like that. I'm not saying that training environment will not result in a fit and a healthy body. Sure, it's training, it definitely will. But if your aim is to build muscle, that is my aim, then that kind of training environment is not going to deliver the results. So you need a training systems that adhere to this recovery and growth period that a muscle requires. And that kind of training system is where you focus on 2 muscle groups per training session. 1 time a week to absolute muscle failure, stimulate them for growth, but allow them enough time to go through this recovery and growing phase. Let's quickly look at the recovery cycle. When you do light workouts, your recovery cycle, the pain cycle, the muscle soreness, is going to last 24 hours approximately. Now that is the period while the muscle is busy recovering from all the micro muscle fiber tears that happen during the training session. Moderate to challenging workouts, it's going to last you 2 to 3 days, the soreness and recovery time. That's what you want. Very intense workouts, I'm talking about really going crazy. Your muscle soreness is going to last longer than 3 days. It can even last up to 5 days. You don't want that. It's too much muscle fiber micro damage. And making the recovery window so long leaves very little, close to no time for your growth window of the muscle before you hit the muscle again. So you want to avoid that. Your aim that your muscle must not be sore for longer than 3 days, preferably 2 days. That gives you a nice long window of 3 to 4 days for the muscle to grow before you hit it again. So there you have it, guys. That is how the older guy uses this muscle soreness to make the muscle grow. Going outside this rule, you're gonna really struggle to get growth in your muscle. And the older you get, the more problematic this is going to become, simply because the older you get, the longer it takes for your muscle to heal, to repair, and recuperate. Okay guys, my coaching system. My coaching system incorporates all these teachings that I got in my videos. It's specifically designed for the older guy, extremely comprehensive, and I work it out specifically for you, for your body and your goals. If you want to sign up or find out more, I'll put up the link for you on the screen. And then guys, I'm asking for a small donation. Please guys, it helps me to pump out the videos and it helps me to keep all my information free. And that is it guys. Watch out for the 4th video in this series. Cheers. Gert Louw for Cape Town, signing off.